Okay, so this trial is over. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and on Twitter, The Pascal Show, one word. Hit that like button down below, and let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this story here. This one really boils my blood. The reason why is because I understand that there's a lot of people that are fans of Alex Jones, and I'm not here to go after his career or what he's done as far as his show, InfoWars, and all that stuff. But if you don't know who he is a personality, conspiracy theorist, etc., extraordinaire, I guess. You know, he's notorious for saying a lot of different things that have gotten him kicked off of a lot of platforms because of what comes out of his damn mouth. Now, a few years back, there was a absolutely devastating massacre that happened in Sandy Hook where multiple children, multiple people lost their lives. Lots of souls were lost. And this man had the absolute audacity to speak out of his ass and say things like, that whole thing was a hoax and all those people were paid actors. I'm dead ass. Well, there's been a defamation trial. There's been a defamation lawsuit going on as of recently. And he went to the stand today. And, you know, it would make you feel some type of way after years of waiting for him to say something about this outside of him just being like freedom of speech and all that stuff. He finally said something that I think was the first time that was ever where Alex Jones is actually just being sincere and real, and not just for clicks, not just for people to go and check out his stuff and say, man, that guy crazy. I love his show. I listen to him because he's crazy. No, he actually seemed like he was coming from a place that was real, which is interesting. He went to the stand and he said something along the lines of this right here in this title. Okay. And if you don't believe me, here's another title right here too. He concedes and he finally says, yes, Sandy Hook, the Sandy Hook massacre was absolutely 110% real. This is what he said in his testimony during this defamation trial. Let's get into this article. Like I said, this is absolutely insane to me. Who has the audacity to sit there and say these things? There are women, children, fathers that are sitting here in absolute pain, dealing with the backlash because of his mouth, this claim that came out of his mouth. Okay. And oh, by the way, I forgot to say this too, y'all. He concedes and he says this, that, oh yeah, this thing that happened at Sandy Hook was 100% real, but he blames everything and the kitchen sink instead of actually blaming his own damn self. It's crazy. We're going to get into it. It's absolutely insane. And we got the video too. We're going to look at a little clip here in a second. So real quick, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones testified Wednesday that he now understands it was irresponsible of him to declare the situation was a hoax, okay? And that he now believes it was 100% real. Now, let me just say this. He went out of his way to say all this stuff for whatever clicks, for views, whatever it is, to be bombastic as he is, because if you ever seen his show, it's pretty big and he's pretty dramatic. He did all that stuff for flair. And he stuck to it. He stuck to his guns. He said, nope, I'm staying right here. It's a hoax. They're paid actors and all that stuff. And now he's on the stand now, years later, finally admitting that what he said was not the truth, that it was a bold-faced lie. In fact, it's funny because he was actually being called out for committing perjury on the stand as well. But that's a whole other Charles Dickens story in itself. Let's get into this article real quick, shall we? So, speaking a day after the parents of a 6-year-old boy who was unalived in the 2012 attack testified about suffering about the suffering, the threats, the harassment they have endured because of what Jones has trumpeted on his media platforms. The InfoWars host told a Texas Texas courtroom that he definitely thinks the attack happened. Especially since I've met the parents, it's 100% real. This is what Jones said. What? This is what he said at his trial to determine how much he and his media company, Free Speech Systems, owe for defaming Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis. Their son, Jesse Lewis, was among 20 students and 6 teachers or educators that their lives were taken during this attack in Newtown, Connecticut, which was still is the deadliest school shooting in American history. Yet we do have another shooting that just recently happened, Robb Elementary, that's very, very close to this as well, which is still a devastating fact to even know. All right. But Heslin and Lewis said Tuesday that an apology wouldn't suffice and that Jones needed to be held accountable for repeatedly spreading falsehoods about the attack. They are seeking at least $150 million, y'all. $150 million. For why? Because this man, because he's known for just open up, he got alligator mouth. He doesn't know when to shut it. He has a tendency. Yeah, well, he doesn't have a tendency. This is his MO. He goes out there, he says a bunch of stuff. He gets very passionate, he gets very enraged, and he just lets things fly out of his mouth. Sometimes what he's saying, obviously we now know, not everything he's saying is absolutely 110% the truth. Look at this situation. You have family members that are still grieving, still to this day, even 10 years later, still grieving 10 years later over the loss of their loved ones at Sandy Hook. And this person has the absolute audacity to try to use this to help with his brand, to feed his echo chamber of followers and listeners, his audience. It's disgusting, y'all. Absolutely 110% disgusting. Okay? He also told the jury that any compensation above $2 million will sink us. But added, that's what Jones said, but added, I think it's appropriate for whatever you decide you want to do. Testimony concluded around midday, and closing arguments are expected to begin Wednesday afternoon. So this is from what happened this morning so far. Okay. And so obviously they're already doing some closing arguments of some sort. And I'm wondering what has happened, but this is just insane. Okay. Even in this clip here, it says it right there above it. It says 100. He says he admits, he concedes. Okay. He admits that what he said was a full-on lie and that what happened in that school is 100% real. But he also goes on to blame media and his own divorce for the reasons why he spoke out of turn. That, like I said, it just gets rich. How do you do that? You know, it's very Will Smith too. I'm just gonna be real. It's like I was in a fog. I don't even really know what happened though. You know, that's kind of what's happening right here. I'm going to blame everything except myself. But let's take a listen to this. I was having a divorce and the media was just saying all these things. But let's take a listen. This is just a little bit of it. Figure you guys might enjoy it.
He was on a lot of shows and he had a group of bullet points, and my producer set him up on the show, so I had him on.
At the time, what, if anything else, was going on in your
life? My family was falling apart. I was in divorce.
I'd like to refer you to the end of 2014. We've had a video received in evidence of you stating your belief at that time that no one died at Sandy Hook, that the whole thing was fake. Do you understand, as you sit here today, how crazy that is?
I have said before that there have been so many lies and so many things in the past, and I was under a lot of pressure. And I truly, when I said those statements, when I say something, I mean it, that I really could believe that it was totally staged at that point. And I was basing that off of
Nothing. But let's continue.
really Steve Buchanan, who has been a very prestigious person.
Do you understand now that it was absolutely irresponsible of you to do that?
It was, especially since I've met the parents, and it's 100% real, as I said on the radio yesterday, and as I said here yesterday, it's 100% real. And the media still ran with lies that I was saying it wasn't real on air yesterday. It's incredible. They won't let me take it back. They just want to keep me in the position of being the Sandy Hook man. My son got confronted yesterday.
Projection speculation is what the media wants. Mr. Jones is just being on a show.
Sustained.
Okay. So listen. He's sitting there going, oh, I got the information from a reliable source, or at least he thought was a reliable source about this being a full-on stage thing, and that those are all, trauma actors or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? So he has the audacity to sit there and go, oh, I just got it from a friend of mine, so I believed it was real. And then even so, he's been talking about this and saying things about this for, whenever the conversation is brought up, he still, till this testimony, would sit there and say, hey, this was a hoax. It was fake. So, of course, the media is sitting there saying, yo, still holding you to it and painting you as the Sandy Hook guy. You were sitting there saying you were willing to die on that hill, saying that this whole thing was fake and that those are all crisis actors. Period. This is the first time ever that we've all ever heard you say something where you are actually taking full accountability. Well, not really. You're just taking responsibility for realizing that what you said was a lie. But instead of you actually taking full responsibility of actually lying and putting out this BS, you blame, oh, I was going through a divorce. My family was starting to fall apart from this divorce. Oh, I'm going to blame the media. I only relied on one person as a source. And sometimes those sources are not on point. You relied on that one person, and then you went off and you spread this dookie. What the hell is that all about? Real talk. What the hell is that all about? Instead of taking full accountability, you still sit there and go, well, it was the wind. I'll blame everything else except because it was the wind that made me say that. No. Take full responsibility of what you said. Instead of trying to spin it and trying to make it seem like mainstream media is trying to bury you, you buried your own damn self by saying those things in the first place. Be a man, step up, take accountability, write a check, and keeps it moving. Okay? Anyway, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Love to hear your thoughts. I understand there's a lot of Alex Jones fans out there, big time supporters out there. And listen, I don't blame y'all for being fans of his stuff. By all means, do you, boo-boo. Listen to what you want to listen to. But when you have something as devastating, as terrible, as crazy as a bunch of children their lives being taken this way, when you have all that and somebody that you listen to is saying this kind of crazy stuff, I'm sorry, that is just not cool in my book, period. All right. Anyway, guys, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to hit that like button down below and most definitely crush that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.